Hey guys, so today I'm going to share with you how to get this look, and I used mainly Bare Minerals products to get this look today. So if you would like to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. I already primed my face with the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. So today I'm going to use this Bare Minerals Bare Skin Pure Brightening Serum Foundation, and this has SPF 20 in it, and I have the shade Bare Linen 03. This might be a little bit too dark for me, but I'll try to make it work. I have used this before, but I haven't used it very much. I think I've only used it once or twice before, so I don't really remember how it looks on the skin. So it says, shake well for skin perfecting coverage. I think I'm going to use my crown brush to try to blend it out. This is the one I got at my BoxyCharm that I used in my last video. I don't know, I want to see how it works with this. So actually this foundation blends out really well with this brush. I think this is the type of foundation that you need to use a brush to blend it out, which I don't think I did that when I first used it. I think I used my beauty blender. I can't remember, but I just remember that I didn't really like how it applied. But with this brush, and especially with the primer underneath, it's blending out so seamlessly and easily. And I love this brush because this brush doesn't absorb a lot of product. As far as the color goes, it's a little bit too dark and yellow for me, but I think I can make it work once I set my face and, you know, use highlight and bronzer. That's why I'm just making sure I drag it underneath my chin and down my neck a little bit just to help blend it out. But I think I really like this so far. Okay, so I actually really like how this works with this brush. I think it gives a really nice finish to the skin. Again, it might look a little bit too yellow, but once I set it, I'm hoping that it's going to kind of lighten up a little bit and match my skin tone a little bit better. I do really like this foundation. I think it has really good coverage, and I didn't have to use that much product. For concealer, I don't have any Bare Minerals concealer, so I'm just going to use what I have. I'm going to use the NYX Dark Circle Concealer in the shade Fair for my under eyes. On top of that, I'm going to use a combination of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Fair and Neutral, and then the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer in the shade Light. So I just finished blending out my concealer, and now I'm going to use my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil to set my entire face. And I'm going to use this Morphe brush, it's the MB1 brush. And for my under eyes, I'm going to use my Luxie 660 Precision Foundation brush. I love this. I got it in my Ipsy bag, and I love using it to set my under eyes. So after I set my face with the Mineral Veil, I feel like the foundation looks like it matches my skin a little bit better. So I think I'm going to use this palette for the majority of the rest of my face. It's the Bare Minerals Be Beautiful palette. It has a really nice mirror on it. Okay, so I just looked it up online. This palette, actually, I don't think it's available anymore. This was one of the holiday palettes for Bare Minerals, but I want to use this because I figure some of you might have this and maybe you haven't seen people use it on YouTube. So I think it would be good to use it, because if you have it, then you should probably use it. From here to here are all eyeshadows, so they give you two large shades for the like highlighting shades, which is actually pretty nice because sometimes eyeshadow palettes, the light shades or the highlight shades will be the same size as the other ones and you end up using them the most, so then you run out faster. So these 6 are all eyeshadow shades, and then over here these ones are for your face. So the one up here is a finishing powder. The one over here is a matte blush, and then these 2 are all over face colors. This one is a faux tan matte, so this one would be good to use as a bronzer or to contour. And then this one is kind of like an apricot shade, so I think you could also use this kind of as a blush. I think this palette is really pretty. I like how it is a really like large, and it's really sturdy, and it's like has that mirror finish. So I'm going to go into this palette. I'm going to use the faux tan matte shade over here. So I'm going to use my Luxie 514 blush brush. I'm going to use my Jumbo Kabuki fan brush from Crown Brush, and going back into that faux tan matte shade, I'm going to use this to bronze up my forehead. This brush makes it a lot easier to reach kind of like my hairline. And then to contour my nose, I'm going to use my Morphe MB23 brush and go back into that tan matte shade. And then I'm going to try going into the finishing powder up here. I'm going to use this to highlight and kind of blend out the contour on my nose. So actually that one has like barely any pigment. I feel like it might be better to use just as kind of like a setting powder. because it's not really doing anything to highlight. So I think instead I'm going to try using this eyeshadow shade over here, the one that is called Presence. It's matte, so it shouldn't add any shimmer. For blush, I think I'm going to use this shade Golden Gate Matte over here. It just gives a little tiny bit of something. And then to highlight my cheeks, I'm going to use this all over, what is this called? It's the Bare Minerals All Over Face Color Vanilla Sugar Radiance. It's in this little jar. So I put it on my hand. I don't know if you can tell. It's really sheer for a highlight, but it's there. So I like how that just gives a really natural looking glow. It's not super duper harsh. It's really blendable and it kind of just melts into your skin. So I think it looks pretty nice. It looks really natural, but it's still there. Okay, so now for eyeshadow, I'm going to go back into this palette. I think I'm going to start with this pinkish shade down here. It's called Beautiful. So I'm going to kind of just put this all over my lid and my crease. And this is actually a Bare Minerals Soft Focus eyeshadow brush. So using a Bare Minerals brush. I think this color is really pretty. I like how it's like a really light kind of rosy mauve color. It's weird because these shadows, when you swatch them, they feel really powdery, but when you apply them to your eyes, they actually blend out and have pretty good pigmentation. So now I'm going to go into the shade I'm going to go into this kind of like wine plum shade called Confident, and I'm going to buff this in my crease just to define it a little bit. And I'm going to go back into that shade Beautiful just to blend out that plum shade a little bit more. Okay, and then for my lower lash line, I'm going to do basically the same thing. This is what I usually do. I'm going to buff the shade Beautiful, which is this really pretty pink shade, on my lower lash line, kind of smudge it out. And then I'm going to use this shade Confident over here closer to my lash line just to kind of smoke it out and make it look a little bit more defined. And then for my upper lash line, I'm going to use that same plum shade, the Confident one, and I'm just going to kind of apply this really close to my lash line as a powder liner because I don't really feel like doing a wing liner today. I just want to do something a little bit more natural, but this will still help to define my lash line. Okay, so that's it for the eyeshadow. So I'm just going to pop on some mascara real quick and then I will be right back. So that finishes up the eyes. I just put on some mascara. I used the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. And now just to finish up my lips, I'm going to use this one from Bare Minerals. It's the Marvelous Moxie Dim the Lights lipstick. I don't know if Bare Minerals discontinued these lipsticks because last time I tried to look for their Marvelous Moxie lipsticks, I couldn't find them. I only saw their new collection of the liquid lipsticks and then the other packaging of the nude lipsticks. So I'm not sure if they discontinued this, but I don't know. I think these are pretty good lipsticks. So that finishes this look using mainly Bare Mineral products. I like how this look turned out. It looks kind of more on the natural side, which I like. I don't like to always have a really bold makeup look. So I think this is really nice for like an everyday makeup look. As far as this palette goes, I think the eyeshadows are okay. They're not necessarily like my favorite eyeshadows, but I was impressed by them because I didn't think they were going to be as good as they were. For matte shadows, they blend out pretty nicely on the eyes and they have pretty good pigmentation. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you like using Bare Minerals products. I think my favorite thing that I used today is the foundation. I think that's what looks the best. It looks like full coverage, but it blended out really nicely and I didn't have to use a lot of product. So let me know in the comments down below if you've tried out any of these products and what you think about them, or if you have any other recommendations for Bare Minerals products that you like, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!